Hey guys, I'm a little bit early, but there you go. That's how it is. Gosh, what a mixed lot. Hi Dudley, Russell, g'day. Craig, Stephen Lang, good morning. Chirpy, good morning. This morning, whether you've been to bed or not. Craig, g'day. John Creasy, hello. Well, it happened. It was a bit of a non-event, and I'm sorry. It's my fault. You all did amazing. There's some awesome videos out there. I think there's still a few coming. Should be great fun. Go and check them all out. Toolfest 2021's today. Big happy Thanksgiving to all you guys in America this week. Hey Kevin, this last 3 or 4 months has been pretty crazy for me, and I'm glad I'm sort of at the other end of it. And by at the other end of it, I've got my Toolfest video up. It's not particularly exciting. I still can't find my original Toolfest project. No idea where it is. That's one of life's crazy mysteries, but it'll probably turn up one day or it won't. I don't know. I'm not sure we're taking apologies, Craig. No, you're forgiven. Everyone work at their own pace. It's plenty good. There are some amazing videos to make up for it, and there are some people that have made amazing work, amazing progress on projects which were way too ambitious. But you should probably go and subscribe to KLM's amazing channel, because I think when his video comes out, this could be in 2 parts. One part's not all that far away, but he's busy. Going to be a good video. Good one from John Creasy. Watched that premiere this morning. I should have been in bed and sort of felt it a bit today. What else? Which other ones have I seen? There was one from Nigel at Go Create. I've seen that one. There's one from Chirpy, which is pretty awesome. I saw that one. There's one from Stephen Lang, which I've got on my browser ready to watch when live stream's over. What else? There's a few. If you've got a video going up this week, use the hashtag, guys. Absolutely. There's the man himself. That's an awesome little scribing block, and my original Toolfest project was going to be a scribing block, but it probably wouldn't have been as nice as that one, to be honest. It would have struggled. So I'm glad that I did something else. In the end, no idea where it is. It's raining here, it's bucketing down. Has been since Monday. Off and on since Monday or Tuesday it's been raining. We've had a fair bit. It's still wet. I'm sort of packing stuff up, trying to put stuff away. It's a bit of a lost cause, to be honest. I unpacked 4 boxes here yesterday. From the post. There's an awesome video about making a grinding dice from Jeremy. It's very good. Really enjoyed that one. I did watch that one. Not seen the rotary table one yet. Hello, David Sykes. You know, if I just sit here and do this while I chat to you, it probably was going to get done. Didn't do much yesterday except edit a video and mess with some model engineering magazines, trying to get them sorted out. We're nearly there. I think I've got about 30 volumes or something still to organise. Check out Jeremy Makes Things. It's a really good channel if you haven't seen it. And I think he's also a Discord member. So if you want to chat to him, he's an awesome guy. But I think he likes using stuff that's as found or magnet fished or whatever happens, because it does come out with a pretty interesting twist, artistic twist on it, and I love it. I've got that many Ziploc bags. You've got no idea. A bag of those, which are tea nuts for wood. That bag is 316. Probably would have used them if I'd known they were available. These come back from Tassie. These ones here look like they're probably 3/8, something like that. Fairly big ones. Still sorting them out. And put them in here with the rest of the woodworking stuff. There's a box of big box of drills, 0.5mm left-hand thread drills. Left-hand drills. It's a makeup brush. Face mask, we could toss that. No more face masks in Queensland for a bit, so that's kind of cause for rejoicing. I'm slowly getting acclimatised again. Got a guard off something. It's probably off a router. I'm not going to chuck it out until I find out what. Some taps I brought back, M12 by 1.5. M12 by 1.75. 1/2 inch 13th UNC, which I'm probably going to need. What's that one? 7/8 UNF. 7/8 UNF. May or may not be useful. There's some inserts there. Do they fit? It's a long shot, isn't it? Look at that. Look at that. How good's that? Picked them up in Dad's shed for the solid rock boring bar. Just the thing, that's a score. So anyway, we know what they were for. I saw them and thought, I know what they'll fit. And they do. Tap. 1/8 UNF intermediate tap. Very useful. There's a wattle paint can opener, which I never ever have enough of because you can't hang it up. But got a couple of them. Put that somewhere safe. It's lost. There's an instruction book for a record plane. I've got a record plane to go with it. A bag of fairly crappy wooden file handles that are too short for anything. Packet off a box of grinding wheels. M5. And a Sandvik Junior hacksaw. 4 carpenter's pencils. All this sort of stuff. There's a drill that Dad's extended. It looks like it's a long series. Or extra long series. Must have welded a bit on the end of it. Anyway, hey Dan. Dan's got a new camera. He said, be sure and announce, is what he said. Be sure and announce that he'll have a new video up. So go and check out Dan's Shed. Good channel. That was what he said. So I'm just passing that message on. Be sure and go and check out and see if subscribe in case he has a new video. I think that's what he said anyway. That sounds right to me. I do remember saying that I'd give him a shout out about it. Mike from Cornwall, good day. Yep, saw the Forged in Fire reference in John's video. Too much of those sort of TV shows are bad for everyone. Have a stack of router bits. There's a router bit, a cutter and an arbor. Carver Tools, good stuff, it's Australian made. And what's that? It's a cove bit, is it? Don't know. There's one of those fancy ones for doing like cupboard doors. Probably will never ever use that again in my life. There's another cheap one. I've got to find room to put all this stuff. That's what happens when you binge 8 seasons. It's a bag of biscuits of the plywood variety or the pressed wood variety. Biscuit joiner. This is Dad's Minimax vernier. This is a really nice vernier. Very, very sweet. I've sort of picked this up 1,000 times during my lifetime, and he's probably picked it up in 10,000 times during his lifetime. This is a nice set of verniers. Someone was paying attention. Yeah, that was mostly done late at night, that video. These are a really nice set of verniers. However, the ones you buy now, which are also branded Minimax, probably even got the same number on them. We'll get them out and have a look. Oh crap. Do that. No idea, they're probably here on the bench somewhere, but there they are. Someone could have pointed them out. Russ Knox, good day. Hi, Russ Knox. So, this is my Mauser German stainless vernier. I really like these. These are nice. Not mine originally. I'm probably the third owner at least. Because I know the guy I got them off, his initials weren't BB. So I don't know whose they were. But they're really nice. I use them a lot. Dad got me these. Minimax, it says 260s. These are 240Bs. So they use the same measuring. They look the same. They look identical. Very, very close. However, these are made in Japan. They're really nice. They're Dad's. These are made in Italy, right? They're about half the weight. They're not well finished. They haven't even got a bracket there to close them. They've just got a pop rivet. It's a bit rough. They've got a bit of wobble in there, which I don't like much. And they're not accurate. Not particularly accurate. So probably all right for scribing a line and that sort of thing. Watch pins at work, that sort of thing. But not a patch on these, which are from Japan. So interesting. If you see old set of these are amazing. Really beautiful set of verniers. But if you see the new ones, which are about 35 bucks, they're probably not a bad set of verniers for 35 bucks, but that's about as far as it goes. This is an alloy, and this is actually like hardened steel, I think. One set's got a decent proper bridge on there, and this all sits nice and flat. The other one sits up a bit ugly, doesn't quite fit the groove, and it's got a pop rivet in it. I've been making bookcases. I made 2 more bookcases for upstairs. I still need 2 more. So I'm going to have to buy a sheet of board at some point, but it's not going to happen just yet. So we're slowly getting there. I've got probably a bookcase full. Still need to be sorted out. Maybe. Anyway, that's happening. A stack of these. I thought there was more of these because there's a couple that are missing, I noticed. And I guess I had intended to put these together as decent planes. That's a Alexander Marshall from Glasgow. It's probably a half decent plane iron. It needs a bit of work. Whether anyone's particularly interested in that, it's warranted steel. Whether that's anyone's thing. That one's a Sorby, Sheffield, England. That's probably pretty good. It's actually at some point it's been sharp. Needs another grind. And that one's Molson Brothers. So 3 half reasonable irons for wooden planes or infill smoothers or something. Chirpy's filer stand looks awesome, and all the detail on the door and stuff like that looks really good. Can't tell it's not cast. Yeah, great job. So once upon a time I had this foray, and this is about what stopped me actually. This was about the straw that broke the camel's back, because this isn't any good on a lot of levels. This was a project, and it was a long time ago, and it's got the makings of a good project, but it's no good. I got a couple of patterns made. I made a couple of patterns. It's the cap iron and the sole plate. Morning, James. Rust Knox, that's exciting. 40 minutes. This broke here because it wasn't dovetailed properly or put together properly, and that was inexperience. And also the throat's way too deep because the planes, no, this isn't quite right here. So not a quality piece of work, really. I wasn't that impressed with it. Knob's nice, but it's not in the middle. There's just 1,000 things. This casting is not quite straight. This was a bad design and it didn't work. There's a cap iron there and a 01 blade that I was going to make up, but we can be finished in time for Rusty's premiere, no worries at all. So I'm just muttering to myself here. I'm not even watching the comics, sorry. Bit tired, actually. So this theoretically should have been a really good plane, but it wasn't. For a dozen reasons, it was rushed and it had some issues. Wouldn't mind at some point one day having another visit of that. Really wouldn't. So that's a project that I gave up on years ago because it didn't work. Brought it up here to sit here to remind me. There's also a couple of half-made Norris style adjusters. I don't know what I was going to do with them, but they were years ago too, and they're not particularly well made. Just go back, I might do something different with those. So they could probably go in the scrap bin, to be honest. It's a little bullnose rabbit plane there. That's probably not a bad plane, actually. Cleaning out a groove. Nothing written on that. It is fairly sharp, though. A little casting. I think it's probably it's a Matheson from Scotland. Absolute cow of a thing to adjust, to be honest. But nicely made. Probably rust knox. We need to rethink this design. Yeah, it's a bit like that. There's a lot of junk here. Some of it may or may not be useful. Another router bit. Gonna have to find a box for all those. It's another tap. Most of this stuff I haven't got a clue what it is. 3/4 tin Whitworth. Could have used that. I went and got another one. There's a dial indicator. Fairly tidy one there. I took off the stand and brought with me. It was just put on a block of wood, or a block of metal, really. Homemade stand. But it's nice to have some things at Dad's. Anyway. Mr. P can't stop himself, apparently. I'm trying not to buy anything, but I might sell this. Don't know yet. This needs a little bit of work. It's a bit tired. It's all here. Well, almost all here. But some of it's broken. I'm sure everyone knows what this is. This lid's been welded up like years. Hey Paul, we'll give you an update on the milling machine in a bit. That's the other side. No idea what that thing is. This is a watch cleaning machine. It's a Elmer, German Elmer from the 50s probably. It's a bit tired, to be honest. It's missing a knob here, or it's got the knob, but the knob's seen better days, to be honest. I think that broke on the way up here, sadly. It might have been broken because it was actually in one of those jars, so it might have been broken for a while. Need to replace that or 3D print one or find one or something, I don't know. There's missing one of these jars, and when I priced one of these from Elmar in Germany or Switzerland, it was crazy expensive, and that's why I never ever got one. I used a fruit jar for the rinse jar for a long time, because this jar was $300 or $400, to be honest, from Elmar, and that seemed like daylight robbery. Which at that point back then, when I finished using this, that was sort of the best part of a week's work. So I've asked our supplier about bits for it again, and apparently there's a Russian machine that's exactly the same as this that's still available or is being sold at the moment. And the jars for that are only fairly cheap and they fit, so I'm going to get one of them for it. It's got, basically it's a mechanical washing machine. There's not much to it. It's got a cord. I think it works. We'll plug it in and find out. There we go. It's pretty quiet. This could do with pulling apart and cleaning. There's a little basket goes on here, and they're upstairs in a box, or they're probably just here in a box. Let's see if I've got them. No, there must be another box of washable bits. It might be under the bench here, actually. It could do with some oil, it could do with a clean. But what happens is you've got a two-part, or you've got two lots of watch clean solutions. I think that's just friction drive, actually. There's no agitation; it just spins. But you've got a fresh or a used and a fresh solution, and you swap them across, and then a rinse solution in the other jar. So you give it. It's got a timer on it, which is kind of quaint. Why does it do that? There we go. So it's got a timer here. Got a switch. Not much to it. And it's got a speed control. Basically a slow blender. Could we work a bit further here? Yeah, speed control up the top here. I don't know if you can see that. And you've got a timer, which is quaint, to say the least. This has got a broken switch in it. Let's go red light when you turn the switch on. It's got a heater. So what happens is you give it whatever recommended time for the solution in each jar, and then in the rinse, and then in the heater tube in the front, which is down here, and that dries everything, hopefully without too many smudges. But this machine did a lot of work back in the day. I used this, it went 24/7 nearly at points. Pretty good machine, but too expensive really to maintain with genuine parts, and it needs a bit of work. It's all a bit wobbly. Have a look there. The head's a bit wobbly, and this timer could do with a service, I reckon. I reckon it's running a bit slow. It's Jungan's timer, which is pretty nice, and it could do with a new switch in here because that one's broken off for the heater. And there's a new knob and it needs a clean in a jar. This machine, brand new from Elmar, is bringing multiple thousands of dollars. I think they're about 7 or 8 grand Australian, which is crazy, crazy, crazy. Second hand, it's worth a few dollars. So whether I move it on, they're just impossible to get at the right price, or whether I keep it and maybe service my watch first. But a bit of messing around, and it's pretty dirty and could do with a sweep out and clean and a few things. Might have a go at 3D printing one of these and make a video about it. We'll see how we go. Anyway, that's something that I had in storage in Tasmania. Obviously, it's been on top of a shelf somewhere in the dust. But I've got the baskets here because I've used them a few times while I've been here. And it's probably worth hanging on to. So whether I refurbish it a bit and sell it, it's an awesome timer. Or whether I keep it, I don't know. I've got to find room for it. Ultrasonic machines and good watches is a bit of a can of worms. Have a bit of a read about it if you want to go down that rabbit hole. But with brass in particular and ultrasonic machines, you get something called stress corrosion cracking, which is basically zinc washout. And zinc washout's a fairly rare, fairly real thing too, and other alloys. And you get porosity, and you get surfaces that retain or dissipate oil on a molecular level differently to polished surfaces or hand finished surfaces that you clean in a cleaning machine. Over time, clocks in particular are not really particularly good in ultrasonic machines. Ultrasonic machines and brass in particular is bad practice over a prolonged period of time. So that's my take on ultrasonics. There's books written on it. The BHI have a book called Conservation of Watches and Clocks, I think. I've got a copy of that somewhere. It's a little booklet which basically documents cleaning procedures and why some cleaning procedures aren't particularly good. The other thing is that you can use a pretty noxious sort of a cleaning solution in this. La Rose used to make one, and then Smith & Smith made that one under or copied it, took it to a chemist and got it copied and broke it down and made it here in Australia because you couldn't import it. And that was so strong that you used to take the lid off it and outside, because if you had some undiluted solution and you took the lid off it inside, it'd basically clean your sinuses out and probably make you sick. So that's the sort of solution you can run in this. If you run that in ultrasonic, you find that you can sort of do it in a separate dish inside warm water, but you find that a lot of undocumented or a lot of cleaning solutions in ultrasonic machine are carcinogenic and other ways dangerous. So benzene in particular. It's not particularly good for you. So there are reasons why ultrasonic machine isn't used very much for that application. We use it for cases and things. Dan's sort of right. That's kind of the same thing, actually. Stress corrosion cracking is sort of the same stuff, and it manifests itself in a lot of different things. But Dan's sort of right. So honestly, you're better off without ultrasonic machines and higher end watches and clocks. You find that yes, you'll get away with it, and for a lot of work, it's probably plenty good enough because most Swiss watches now get serviced twice in their lifetime. So that's a realistic figure. It's probably supposed to be more than that, but no one services their watch every year religiously or can afford to. So it's less of an issue with that, and especially with something there where if there is an issue with parts, then they're easily replaceable. But with antique watches and older pieces, and that sort of stuff is fairly important for conservation. So there you go. There's an insight into watch cleaning machines that you weren't expecting when you signed up for this tonight. Sorry. It's awesome. Anyway, poor old thing. I might even this weekend. I probably won't either. I've got stuff to do this weekend. Speaking of which, we have a milling machine. Haven't looked. Where'd my phone go? Really good question. Here it is. Right, milling machine. Find my device. Looking for my mobile phone on the milling machine. It's telling me it's Tasfreight at Lavitt North in Melbourne. Battery's not doing particularly well. There we go. 20%. 20%. We've only got as far as Melbourne, but we're across the water, so it's on its way. They have unloaded it off the truck, and it's back in it's back up the top there. Okay, it might be back on a truck tonight. It was in this shed this morning, down here. So it's moved back up there, which is... This Find My Device map doesn't have a satellite image, so we can't see exactly where it is. But Tasfreight have got a big shed in here, and I think it's back on the... No, it's probably still in the shed. Anyway, we'll keep you posted, but it has gone some of the distance, got about 1,700 kilometres, something like that, to travel. Probably 2.5 days or something like that. It's about 20%. It's out near Paul's place. Do you want to go and charge my phone tomorrow? No, it'll be all right. Geez, we touch on some weird stuff on this channel. Sorry, guys. what we have is a couple of lids of varying sort of qualities. This one looks like it's probably a nearly brand new lid. This one's been glued up because they're only Bakelite or some crap. This one looks like it's half decent. That one probably is too. This one had some solution in it last time I put it back together, so it's going to need a wash. It's not smelling good. Craig, as Craig says, it's not as weird as the Discord, and the battery's done all right. It's done what 10 days, and if it left a week ago, it would have made it. But anyway. A lot of these come. Tassie, these are mine. Woodwork's not something that I'm particularly interested in or particularly good at. I'm interested in it, I guess, but I'm not particularly good. Haven't done much woodworking on the channel. That might change at some point. It's a number 5 Stanley. It's a Bailey Stanley. Not a bad plane. It's a fairly lightweight one. It's not a bedrock or anything. It's quite a light, nice plane. It's a number 3C. Bailey number 3C. It's corrugated sole. And the number 3. Standard sole is about twice as much weight in that as there is in that. Different errors. This one's fairly new. That's the one the blue book would have come with. It's not a bad plane. But my preference would be this one probably. You were looking for a number 8. I didn't know that. There's a number 6 and a number 7. I don't think there's a number 8. I'm not sure what happened to the number 8. I haven't got a number 1 or a number 2 either. I have a 4 and a 4.5 somewhere, but they're probably here already. That's the trouble, is that everything's dirty when you do woodwork. Anyway, they might be fun. I've got to find some way of storing these. Corrugated sole stops friction apparently. I think that was the reasoning behind it. Someone might know that. I probably used to, but it's information that's gone. I think they're all available as a C version with the corrugated sole. This isn't a bad little plane. Number 7 or number 8 is getting a bit big, but this 5 is quite nice, and there's a 6, and I think I've got a 7 upstairs. But that's quite a nice plane. And for the sort of work I do, it's probably plenty good enough. This box come back, right? I don't know why I posted this box back, right? You be the judge here of this awesome box of stuff that I posted back, right? This was the stuff in my red toolbox that Craig bought. And me being like I am, thought, well, I'll have that rather than give it to him and have him throw it out. There's two Chinese thrust bearings. I believe that these were something to do with the clutch in the John Deere. I'm not sure about that. I'm going to have to look at that. I think that's what they were. There's some nice 16 DP gears, which were too good to throw out. And probably soft enough to machine into something. There's a Hermes 595 German ratchet tap wrench, which is a really nice one. That's way better than the one I've got, which come from Tom Lipton, with this stupid little lever on it. This is all right, but it's a whole lot more American than the German one, which has got a much finer thread on it, feed on it, and much more ergonomic and comfortable. There's screw plug cutter. How I know where most of this stuff is. There's some assorted model engineer taps. Need to go through them. There's a 16 DP 40.5 pitch angle number 3 cutter. So there is, look at that. Which I think was timing gears and crankcase gears, and most of the diff gears for the John Deere were 16 DP. I only found one cutter though, it's a Chinese one. To have a look around. Too late now. There's a very useful coil with the magnet steel in the front, in the middle. Don't know if it's any use for anything, but why not? There's oil seal, new one. I think was probably, it's one side of the John Deere. There's a 5/16 by 32 model engineer second cut tap. That's what it says. Looks like that's what it is. There's some grinding wheels for the Dremel, which I don't use more anyway, those type. There's an awesome model steering. Hey, Jim. Honestly don't know if this works. I just dropped the flywheel. So I'm guessing that probably doesn't. The flywheel was on taper. Anyway, probably something stupid I made one weekend once. There's a couple of tap flanges which probably belong to this boiler of Dad's, I reckon. There's a counter bore, which looks like it's about 4mm. 169 by 263 counter bore, in thousandths of an inch anyway. There's a quality junior hacksaw. See, this is an awesome box of stuff. There's the stop off the mill that was broken, I think, when it came, and Dad's put that aside. So I've put that in this box too. There's two halves of that. I'm going to have to make another one of them at some point. Cut one out. It's got a grub screw or a screw in here for tightening it down, and a fine adjustment lock. We'll see how we go with that, but that's a project. There's some more bits for that little stationary engine we looked at last week. There's a cylinder off it. There's a crankshaft out of something. Check this out. There's a couple more gears. Don't look at me like I'm crazy. There's some 256 by quarter socket head cap screws. They're very useful. That's a valve liner, I think, or a valve cage here. That's a Meccano spanner. If anyone doesn't know what that is, that's a genuine made in England Meccano spanner. We better have a link to Rusty's video. There's a 608 bearing. It's probably seized. There's an automatic pencil, the same as the one I've got upstairs. We can put that upstairs. There's what appears to be a 7BA bolt, something like that. There's a protractor. And a cheap square. It's the middle out of the cheap square. The medical clamp. A couple more bearings or something. Probably they're John Deere. There's a mint tin full of probably what looks like 5mm bolts. Another bearing. This is pretty cool, right? And this is something I was sort of looking for in Dad's junk and found it. Chirpy, you better ask Stuart about that. Hopefully it's here fairly soon, but I haven't seen it yet. It's at Stuart's place and we're just waiting for a crate. I'm going to have to get him, I know that. This is broken, but this is an Umbraco screw selector, right? And it shows you when you slide this in and out, right? It shows you everything. Insist on genuine Umbraco screws. So this one here shows you the hexagon, the socket screw, and the set screw and the length for metric screws, the diameter, right up through to 36mm, down to 3mm. And we select up here, you select metric if you want a metric, say a metric, can we see that, M5 Umbraco. It's got just this grub screw or the socket head. The set screw's got a 2.5mm Allen key. and it's 0.8 pitch. We knew that. And the trap drill drive is 4.2. The maximum radius under the head is 0.35 on here. Thickness of the head, diameter of the head is 8.5. Pretty useful thing. And button heads there, and some other weird screw. And on the other side's Imperial. So if you see one of these in a garage sale somewhere, check this out because it's a pretty useful thing. Take it with you. Hey, Paul. So there's a bearing off that engine. Slide the crosshead. Another flange with some bolts. That's what the bolts are out of. That looks like a radiator cap for the John Deere. There's the molybdenum Triumph heavy duty drill bit. There's a weird counter bore there with a split point. Don't know what that is. There's a spreader off an engine. We're not even going to go there. There's a plastic bottle which probably had a drill in it. So that's the sort of junk that I posted back, and I don't know why, but there you go. I'm here. Has anyone seen me? Anyway, we better go and watch. Has Russ Knox got his video set as a premiere? Anyway, this is all just assorted junk, to be honest. Most of it is. It's going to have to go in boxes and screw boxes and things like that. I've got places to put most of them. Thanks, Craig. Anyway, seems to me we have a lot of junk, but it's all got a place, and some of it'll all be fairly useful to add to stock or to taps and dies and things. Taps, model engineer taps and things are pretty good to have. Anyway, I think we just about call it a day here. I don't know if there's much else to sort of add. Maybe the mill will be here next week. Maybe it won't. There's every chance it won't. Maybe I'll have this bench cleared by next weekend, and maybe I won't. There's every chance. No, seriously, I need to do that this weekend. It's one of the jobs is to get some of this stuff put away. I also need to shift some furniture around. I've got to shift an old locker cabinet around the other side of the bench, and then move the yellow grinder trolley up where that is, and the bookcase, and then probably clear some stuff to put the mill back down here. So hopefully by next weekend we'll have that done. That's Sunday's job. Anyway, I'm going to call it. Thanks everyone for joining in. Sorry I'm a bit boring and there's not a whole lot of interesting stuff to watch. I mean, it's the variation and the range is phenomenal, but the interest value is probably fairly low, I think. Thanks everyone for joining in to Toolfest 2021. Go and check out all those videos. I'm going to go and watch a couple more now. Get a couple watched every day. Run everyone's numbers up, then maybe someone will get trending video, or KLM when he comes out next week, will have a trending video. And be kind to each other. Anyone who wants to buy a watch cleaning machine, hit me up. Probably not going to post it. And we'll catch you next week. Thanks again, guys. Thanks for everything.